Friends, what's doing? Happy Sunday, painting some soldiers back into it. Um, I bought some new brushes to try out, but you might be shocked to see them. They're makeup brushes, very soft. They feel nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try them on my basing. Try some dry brushing techniques, I think. Done a lot of painting this week, unfortunately. Did some. Most of my time this week has been spent playing Thunderstone Quest and preparing for my Oathsworn. G'day, Taniflas. Um, Painting and not much else. I did spend a little bit of time on this guy and um, finished his base, or at least I did some work on his base anyway. Trying to keep this color greenish, hey top, and not move into blue. Every time I paint, every time I look at this model, I think to myself, why didn't I get the blind archer? There's so much happening on this figures bits. Look at all these doodads and knickknacks. Just good simple lines on the archer. Clean, easy to do. I bought a new painted figure friends to add to my collection. However, it's going to take some time to get to me. It takes some time for me to pay for it. Bump, bum, 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 bum. This is the figure that I purchased. Yes. My friend, Mr. Swinson. Been trying to buy one of his for a while. And I think I talked about, my reasons. I always want to have a thing that jumps out and makes me go, I desperately want that. That's representative of that guy's work and that sort of stuff. And if I bring that back up for a second, you can see the things that jump out for me there, that I love about Eric's work are the way he does cast shadows. So cast shadows, if you're unfamiliar with the terminology, is shadows that are painted on a model to represent light being cast from a specific direction. So the sword is the main example of that there, but he does it on the helmet. There's a version with a helmet where you can see the cast shadows on her face as well. If I can bring that one up. So the cast shadows is the first reason. The second is his non-metallic metal, which again you can see here in this image, the colors that he's used, the position he's placed his lights, you know, all that sort of gear. And then the third and one that I wasn't ever really considering, but when it popped out was like, well, I need it. Is the dappling on the horse? Look at that! Look at that detail on the horse. That's just sublime. Like, I'm not sure I could ever do that. Like, ever. I just don't think I have that capacity. So yeah. You won't see it on here for a while. Hey, Draxy. Yeah, you won't see it for a while, unfortunately, because Eric is taking it to World Model Expo in Monte San Sabino. So he won't be shipping it to me or anything until after those shows, which means we're probably going to see it in December, roughly. But yeah. It's going to be good when it turns up. It will claim the title of most expensive figure in my collection. Take it back from Andy Wardle. I don't mind at all, mate. So yeah, the most artists that I know don't sort of throw prices around, but yeah, usually sort of fine with me sharing. So yeah, it's 1,500 US dollars, including shipping. So which honestly feels like a dead set bargain to me, but I mean it's not money I have just lying around, unfortunately. So I've said to him that I'm just going to be paying off a little bit each month, which he was happy with. And I look at that sort of money in two ways: as an investment of uh, investment in my painting, improving my painting, but then also as a supporting other artists and helping them be able to do this as a career. I don't do this as a career, so it's nice to be able to support people who do. All right, very very important. My friend Moopsy's been getting mad keen on the Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game. He keeps pestering me to get involved. So, is anyone in the chat familiar with this game? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Miniaki's into it, isn't he? It's designed by Eric Lang, and I'm such a fanboy of Eric Lang that it almost doesn't matter what the game is. I know I'm going to like it. So that's a strong plus. The the only thing that sort of, well, there's two things stopping me. Number one, Moopsy lives on the other side of the country, so I'll get to play him once a year, maybe. Number two, the models have never caught my fancy, because they just look very generic. So what I wanted to ask is, which faction has some models that actually just make you stand up and go, "Fuck yeah, they're mad"? Because if I'm gonna do it, I want to paint them. I want to paint an army of cool dudes. So where can I find a faction that's got some cool dudes? I've never looked into it, but I started looking into it yesterday, and I was like, are they PVC? Are they? If that's the case, that's a little disappointing. To go check out Wapple's versions, pre-assembled. That lessens my enthusiasm significantly. But maybe not. Maybe not too much. G'day, Vipertron. Yeah, there's been a significant improvement in the PVC sculpts and just even the techniques and stuff used that I've seen recently. So yeah, I suppose Cool Mini not have that reputation, but that sort of is not a bad thing. I don't think. Oh, hey, Massive Cravat. Like, to talk about Steamforged and Guild Ball for a minute. Steamforged got absolutely hammered, right, for stopping manufacturing Guild Ball. Probably for a couple of reasons, because they blamed it on the community, even though that's a bit of an exaggeration. But I think like everything. G'day, Aria class. I think everything has a shelf life, right? Like one of the games I played most in my life is War Machine, and by the time I finished playing War Machine, you could not start playing that game. Like you could not pick up the game of War Machine and go, yeah, I've decided I would like to start playing War Machine, because there was too many models, there was too many choices, there was too many things that you needed to know. It was just impossible. So there has to be a finishing point. Like, so if they turn around and go, yep, we've decided we've made everything that we wanted to make for the game, and that's it, means you can start collecting something new, doesn't it? Which I think would be pretty cool. None of the models interest me. That's the problem. I haven't seen any models that make me go, get on board. You know, this is the go. I just haven't seen one. So that's sort of where I find myself. I'm like, well, if I'm going to play this game, cool. I want to paint models that are interesting, and I haven't seen one. So someone tell me that I'm wrong and that there's some awesome models that I just haven't seen yet. Yeah, War Machine models are um, a unique aesthetic. When I played that game, I didn't really like the models to begin with, but I gravitated towards the faction of undead. And there was enough cool models in there that you get used to it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, these are cool, man. I like these models. All right. As a general rule, wargamers, hobbyists tend to be a pretty salty bunch. As a general rule. Massive cravat. Is there a faction that has like really fucking awesome models that stand out from the rest. Like, I asked my mate Moopsy to tell me which faction would play the most like I like to play. And he said that I should play the Free Folk. I didn't look into the models though. Oh, I'm doing fine detail work with a size 1, my friend. So never use a 10-0. That's just asking for help. Pain. It's one of those weird things about painting miniatures. Like, you would think, oh, fine detail, I need to use a small brush. It actually makes it harder for you in the long run because you are having paint dry out on the tip quicker. There's no paint deep in the well of the belly of the brush. And the tip ultimately is the thing that matters. If the tip on your brush is good. Did I grow 10 times larger? I don't think so. Magnaris. Of course you are talking about Warrior class, but I'm going to assume you're talking to me because I'm very important. Good looking. All right, review time. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. If you haven't seen it, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it. It was okay. The end. It was okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. On reflection, I'd probably drop that down to 6.5. It did some things really well. It did some things less well. My biggest complaint about the movie was that it's not really about Doctor Strange. And I think that's one challenge they're going to continue to face into as they evolve their storytelling and what have you, is that they have such an interconnected universe of characters now that one person's movie, i.e. Doctor Strange, is a vehicle for effectively three other characters' stories, or three characters' stories. Um, and so if you are going in because you're a massive Doctor Strange fanboy, uh, then you'll find the story mostly focuses on someone else, or it feels like it's a story about that other character, less than Doctor Strange. It did indeed feel a little all over the place. However, as I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't walk out of the cinema going, that sucked. I hated it. I haven't done that for a long time in a movie. But when you're holding yourself up against Spider-Man, Far From Home, you need to be pretty good. I did wrap up Moon Knight, yes. That was awesome, wasn't it? Like I enjoyed Moon Knight more than I enjoyed Doctor Strange. Put it that way. Moon Knight was legit. I actually think Moon Knight could actually be my favorite of the shows. Now I think about it. Like on reflection, I've got it. I had it as Loki, Wanda, Falcon, and Winter Soldier. But um, I bumped up WandaVision over Falcon after thinking about it. But yeah, I think that one might be the coolest of all of them actually. Mm, have to think about that. I haven't. No, no. My girlfriend and I haven't been to the movies a lot recently. Um, yeah, I've seen. I've actually heard Popular say it's really good. So it was on my list of things to go and see eventually. Is it? Like I love Michelle Yeoh. She's such a fucking legend. She's just been in so many fucking baller movies, all the way back to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She's a fucking legend, and she's great in Star Trek Beyond. No, not Beyond. What's it called? The new one, Discovery. No, no, I can definitely recommend stuff without thing. So, what if the animated series is um has some tie-ins in the Doctor Strange um Multiverse of Madness? I didn't watch What If. I only watched the first episode and a half, and I was like, this sucks. But having watched that first episode and a half made a difference, and made a lot of sense. It's one of the first Marvel movies where I really feel like you had to go in with some assumed knowledge. You really had to go in with assumed knowledge. The one you have to watch is WandaVision. If you didn't watch WandaVision, a large chunk of the premise of things will make no sense. That's a huge rap, Topulus. Huge rap. Yeah. Yeah, WandaVision is essential viewing. I actually went to see it without my girlfriend. Because she was like, oh, I don't really want to see it. And I was like, cool, I'm going, bye bye. And then I got out of it. I sent her a message. I was like, well, it's lucky you didn't come because you would have had no idea what was going on in that movie. She didn't watch WandaVision. She watched Loki. What about Hawkeye? It was fine. It was fun. Any opportunity to watch Haley Steinfeld, I'll accept graciously. Yeah, WandaVision made absolutely no sense. It was so weird until you got to the end, and then you're like, oh wow, this is actually pretty awesome. And on a rewatch, it's really good. Well, they brought Charlie Cox into Spider-Man as Matt Murdock, so I think that now means that all that stuff is canon. And I believe Charlie Cox is doing another series on Disney. No, I don't think I'll be watching Eurovision, mate, but thank you for asking. Yes, Hawkeye did indeed. Although it wasn't a great representation of that character, I didn't think. I've seen Hawkeye. You're spoiling. Um, cool. It's new model day. We had some models turn up. I'll show off one first. Me, Daredevil. Fucking hell, man. I watched it all. I think I watched it like 3 times actually. Fucking mad. The whole the whole Netflix Defenders cycle, I was banging that drum for years. It's unreal. Yeah, so we got a whole pile of models turn up this week. Um, what else? What else turned up? I'm sure something else turned up too. Yeah, first and third. The first and third are probably some of the best television shows ever written and acted. Charlie Cox is a fucking legend, man. Like, um, Iron Fist suboptimal, but the second season improved it and added some cool characters. Yeah, so I got this chick. Don't know if you know this, but he casted him in green resin. It's pretty awesome, actually. But the quality on these casts is really fucking good. Like, um, really, really good. There's so few mold lines that I've seen. Um, so I'm gonna do a giveaway for this one for Isra Illuminated. And I'll talk about why in a second. These arrived this week. Australian orders went out before yours did. Sorry, which is actually pretty common. This one is the one I am excited about painting. Look at this side. The maniac, maniac on the floor. Wonder if we'll do the side of this big sword. I think this big sword's cool too. Fuck, she's a banger. She is a banger. Well, maybe I'll do the two of them. Where's the other one? Yama. Yeah, I'm sending Yama away to a friend. Bunny, little bunny bear. Gonna send her off this week. So just gonna paint her and I'm gonna give away Isra. Yeah, they're pretty cool models. Feel like painting some busts. So yeah, I assembled this chick yesterday. I was sort of on the fence about whether I'd paint Lael today, whether I might start painting this chick. But you can see the quality of the cast. There's very few lines. This is the only mold line that was there, was on that bicep, and I got a bit aggressive with my scraping, but yeah, everywhere else is pretty much perfect. Oh, there's one. Fix that. Yeah, coolio. All the time. Do this hair. So she's from a Kickstarter called Inu Kingdoms. Started last year. I painted 2 models already from the range for the Kickstarter. They'll probably release to the world regularly soon, so it'll be fine. No, I don't think so. But with some little Kickstarter exclusive bits, but no exclusive models. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about another Kickstarter I was involved in. So I've talked a lot recently about a game called Oathsworn. I have some models coming my way that I'll be painting on video, potentially on stream for some of those models. To do some painting videos for the game. I'm super excited. Now let's give you a little timeline of events of that game. So it was in October of 2019, and they went to Kickstarter. So in October of 2019, I was actually over in Europe, and I vividly remember back in the Kickstarter when I was sitting in Monty in the Airbnb with my girlfriend. Because we were having a rest after a big couple of days, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna back this. It looks fucking awesome. So I backed Oathsworn in October 2019. So in Kickstarter world, they usually have a couple of months, and then they'll open a pledge manager, and they'll start shipping the game after the pledge manager is completed. Blah 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 blah. Well, this particular game is expected to arrive in December 2020, and they had their pledge manager finish on March 2020. So I don't know if many of you were around in March 2020. I'm sure most of you were. It wasn't a great time in a lot of places in the world. As we kicked off with the wonderful COVID-19 pandemic. In Australia, it really found its feet in March. Yeah, so obviously everything about the game was delayed. Completely understandable. Most Kickstarter games are delayed at the best of times, let alone through the middle of the pandemic. So this is where the story gets interesting. So unfortunately, in the past, Kickstarter board games would charge for shipping when the pledge manager ended, and this was a pretty normal process. It would have, you know, a little bit of tolerance baked in, but shipping prices were generally pretty reasonable and pretty reliable. So this particular game, they'd followed the normal process back in the world that we used to live in, and they charged for shipping, and I think I paid $49 or something for shipping. I bought a whole all-in package. There's a whole pile of shit, and Australia normally gets stung for pretty expensive shipping, so that was about normal. Yeah. So roll on to middle of 2021. So they've missed their date for 2020, but not that far behind. They're on track to ship the game end of the year, and so they go and get a quote. So they did a breakdown on this on their page if you're interested in more info. They'd collected approximately £560,000 or something for shipping over the course of their pledge manager and their the original Kickstarter. They got a bill for shipping from companies for 1.9 million. The original Kickstarter raised 1.9 million minus Kickstarter fees, comes down to about 1.7. So they have effectively paid for the entirety of their manufacturing, the entirety of everything. They have 500 grand left for shipping, and they just get stung with a bill for 2 mil. Like that is dead set panic stations, right? I don't know what you do as a business owner when you find out that you're 1.5 million in the hole. The only saving grace was that it was in the middle of probably the worst possible time for the shipping in general, as there was Christmas coming up and then blah, 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 blah. So what they did was they went away and they worked super hard, and the game probably would have shipped last year, I think, like middle of last year. Like I reckon they could have had that go button pushed, but they had to find out what the fuck they were going to do with shipping, and so it didn't ship, and they kept investigating and trying to find ways to ship it. And long story short, the game finished production a couple of months ago, or a month or two ago, and they started to get serious about their shipping. So they managed to track down a solution, and they picked up a little bit of extra money through something, I don't know how. Like I think they might have put in some of their own money, and they got to a point where they were going to be able to ship the game, and they were really happy because it was not going to be out of pocket anyone. They had 3 different manufacturers or 3 different shipping companies that they'd engage with to ship the games. So the first quote was like 500 grand, which is what they had. And so they went to this company and said, we are ready to go. Let's pull the trigger. I'd got a quote from them literally a couple of weeks prior. And the company comes back to them and goes, yep, here's the quote we gave you a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be 50% more than what we quoted you the other day. They quoted them a week earlier, and instead of being 500 grand, they were charging them more. I think it was actually more, but anyway. So they said, all right. So they went to their second backup, It was a little bit more expensive initially, but when they quoted them, they were like, yep, this is the price. So they went, sweet, how much can you do it for? And they came back and said, it's an extra 30%. So they went to the third company, who was the most expensive quote, but that third company has done it for the quote that they came back with. To summarize my long story, which I just find it really, it's been a fascinating thing to look and watch and be involved in. The quote for shipping is $750,000. They only had $500,000 in the bank for shipping. They managed to pull together $100,000 of their own money, and they've had to come back to backers and ask people to pay more money for shipping. With the two possible options being, we don't have enough money, we go bankrupt, we can't ship your games, or everyone chips in a little bit more for shipping. That's it, mate. Honestly, it would not surprise me, because if the amount of rigmarole these guys have gone through is anything like what it would be for those guys, it'd be crazy. Mind you, having said that, they probably haven't. It's probably finished, but they probably haven't started the manufacturing yet, because the actual cost of storage is just as bad. Storing games that are manufactured is a shit ton. So he's probably finished. He's probably just like trying to delay until shipping prices normalise. So Iceworn company, Shadowborn Games, they found this out in the space of about a week of the games being ready to leave the factory. So they've had to send out an update to backers saying, we tried everything we could to avoid it, but you're going to have to pay more. Yeah, it's not an onerous amount. Like, every backer has to pay, you know, for me, it's $19 more. For most, the smaller pledges, like Draxi, if he's got the standee pledge, he'll be out of pocket for $8 or something. Right, so it's not a massive amount, but it has to be paid or you won't get your game, because that's the reality of the situation. It's been really interesting to see, because the company's been awesome with transparency and communication. And so the whole community has literally just rallied behind them and donated money. So they put in a tip jar in the shipping thing, and people had the option to just tip more. And everyone's tipped more. And apparently, as of, I think it was yesterday, it's only been on for like 3 or 4 days. They'd raised an extra 50 grand over and above what those people were required to pay, and they've had about 75% of the people finish their thing. So the reason I'm telling you this story, the reason I'm telling you all this, so I want to try and help Shadowborn make a little bit more money, make a little bit of money for themselves, because the game that they've made looks unreal, and I would like to see them make more games. They're also sending me models, so they're a really good bunch of dudes. I had to catch up with one of the guys, and this was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, before any of this information had come out, and he was telling, and literally I can confirm at the time, he's like, yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to need to get any extra money for shipping. It looks like we've got it locked down. And I was like, oh, awesome. 2 weeks later, everyone needs to pay more money. So it's literally been that sort of time frame that they've had to make these crazy decisions. So I am going to, on my stream, when I have the Oathsworn models in my possession, I am going to do a giveaway for some figures. TBD the specifics yet, I haven't figured it out. But every single person that donates or something, I haven't figured out the specifics of that either, I will throw them in a draw to win something cool. We'll probably put this guy in the draw. We'll definitely put that, what's her name? Isra Illuminated. And any money that I raise, I'm going to donate to those guys. There's a couple of videos on their Kickstarter page if you want to watch. They're very interesting. What else could I give away? I'll give away some other shit too. But I'm going to wait until I have all of the models from the game so that I can advertise it. Of the game, well, I've looked at them. I'm not getting those. I'm only getting the core figures from the characters. I think it'd be a minor spoiler, mate. Like you're not getting spoiled on the story. You're just seeing the figures and stuff. Because on the Kickstarter page you can look up all the monsters. Yeah, yeah. I should have the models to actually have a play around with on stream. I'm hoping they'll arrive tomorrow. So we may be talking about them tomorrow night. 45 mil scale too, so sort of like a little bit bigger. G'day, Koala. Yeah, mate, it is really, really awesome to see how people have responded. And I guess in some ways it's sort of restored a little bit of faith in humanity that, you go on Kickstarter board game pages and the comments section is just absolute fucking trash. You go on Facebook and people are just unhappy about everything. And then here's this company that's out there trying to make a game and doing their best and have really been excellent for communication from day one. And the whole community's rallied behind them to help support them. It's been awesome. Been awesome to see, awesome to be a part of. So yeah, I just want to try and give a little bit back to them. I already tipped a little bit extra as well, but yeah, I'll show you something cool. YouTube. Hey, Match Fixer. Yeah, check this out. Pretty fucking cool, man. That was my face on a paint pot. Pretty fucking cool, man. It is. One thick coat. One thick coat through an airbrush. Pretty jazzed about the game, too. Not gonna lie. It's been awesome. Awesome to follow along and get pumped up. I don't. So I played 7 or 8 Kingdom Death campaigns, and it's got still got my hooks in me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play another one soon. And the reason Kingdom Death is so cool to play multiple times is because there's not a story that you're uncovering as you progress. There's like little snippets of lore, but overall, it's not a it's not a one and done story that you're learning. And that's where I think Oathsworn won't have quite as much replayability as Kingdom Death for me, because it's a linear story and there's lots of branching paths you can go down. So I think I'll get probably 2 or 3 plays out of it, but you're not going to have the same level of replayability that I have in Kingdom Death. But mechanically, it looks significantly more dynamic than Kingdom Death. Kingdom Death is very reliant on dice rolls, ultimately. That's a great question, Drax. I had no idea what I was going to paint this guy when I first got him. And I mean, I think at the moment, I'm still really not sure about the palette, but I decided to do gold for the armor, and then I decided to do green for the thing. And neither of those decisions were based on anything other than this is what I feel like painting right now. So everything else has sort of come about from that. Just going to give it a varnish. Do a little bit of cheeky airbrushing first. What do I want to airbrush here? Let's go some of this blue. What would I call my range of paints? Saturation generation. Or population saturation. Thank you. Talking about my population. Or the obvious one would be Big Dano's paints. I normally have a towel on my chair. I don't know if anyone else does this. I'm going to put my towel down. Anytime I want to wipe my brush off. Oh, Drumner. I have designed my own board game. And then sold it to one of my mates who turned it into a board game called Judgment Eternal Champions that's on Creaturecaster's website. And then I've also been designing another game for myself. If you go back to the very, very first edition of Judgment, which was released by a company in Australia called Gunmeister Games, yeah, and you look at that rulebook, it says my name under Games Designer. Pretty cool. But yeah, I would like to design a game. I have had plans for a while to my mates get give me shit about this one, but I think it's great. I want to design a game where I sculpt all the models and I write all the rules and I write all the background. The only thing I can't really do is the artwork because I can't draw for shit, but I'll paint the figures, box arts and stuff. Yeah, so I do want to do my game, but the working title I've been calling it is Deno by Deno. And my mates always ask me, how's Deno by Deno going? Good. It's gone through a couple of iterations. I've got a really good core gameplay loop, which I'm happy with, but yeah. Judgment Eternal Champions is on Creaturecaster. They did a Kickstarter for it last year. Yeah, I wrote the core gameplay, core mechanics, and came up with the initial 12 characters and their basic special rules. And then I got my mate involved, and he was like, "Yeah, we should turn this into a game." And I was like, "Well, I'm fine. You want it, you can have it. And so he took it and he turned it into a game, which was pretty cool. It was very heavily influenced by Guild Ball, which I was mad keen on at the time. Um, and if you go back to the very first version of the game, it had 54mm scale models, which was also my plan. I wanted to have cool figures of painting. Oh, that's a great question, mate. That is a great question. It'd be a hard thing for me to choose a single board game. Rather, I'd probably be able to pick one from each genre. But every year on my Twitter, I review or I pick my top 5 board games of the year. I had Mage Knight as number 1 in a couple of years ago, and I played like 60 games of Mage Knight that year. I played one the other day, actually. It's a good game. So Mage Knight would be up there. Gloomhaven, my mate Koki and I played Gloomhaven together, and we finished the campaign and most of the expansion campaign. And I would have to say that Gloomhaven, the experience, was probably one of the best board gaming experiences I've had. Koki and I just played it almost non-stop for 3 months. We played like 2 or 3 times a week. It was unreal. So Gloomhaven would be up there. And that was my number 1 the year before Mage Knight. I think my number 1 for 2020 was Maracaibo. Yeah, it'd be really hard for me to pick a favourite. But I think the correct answer is probably Gloomhaven, because I got to play all of it with my mate. Go, Rowie. Yeah, I think it would be Gloomhaven, because I get to play it all with my mate. We had a fantastic experience. Opening boxes, getting enthusiastic about it together was just awesome. Like, absolutely unreal. And I have probably not gotten anywhere near as much game out of any other game. Like, I don't think I've gotten as much value for money as I have out of Gloomhaven. I spent $200 on Gloomhaven, and we played it 100 times. So $2 a game. I doubt there'd be any other game in my collection that's anywhere near that amount. Mage Knight, I've only played 60 games. I reckon I paid 200 odd for that. Kingdom Death, I've paid a fuck ton for, about $2.5 grand. So I've played a lot of Kingdom Death, 7 campaigns. It's a fuck ton of Kingdom Death, but even then, because of the price, in terms of most value, Gloomhaven. Oh, Mage Knight is a solo game. Like, I just don't think there's any value in trying to play it with multiple people. Um, it's a solo game, and when you just accept that, stop trying to get other people to play it with you. It's much better. That's my experience with it anyway. Because I played a couple of two-player games with Koki and with Sheldo, and yeah, it was fine. It was fun, but it's just so good playing it by yourself, man. So good. Like, just sitting there mulling over your turns. How can I beat this monster with this hand that I've got? It's great. Love it. Yeah. I am looking forward to Frosthaven. Yes, that's going to be later in the year, we hope. That'll be good. I've got yeah, Oathsworn coming. I've got Aeon Trespass Odyssey coming. Are we talking about the same game, Mage Knight? Yeah, it isn't actually a skill to be able to play a solo game, as dumb as that sounds. Because you got to hold yourself accountable for when you fuck up, and not just be like, oh yeah, I'll just slide that one through the keeper. Let that one be fine. You make mistakes. But Mage Knight actually allows you in the rules. It's like you can roll back any time as long as there's no information that's been revealed. So you can actually make mistakes and be like, not sure if that was the right decision. Let me roll that back. Literally in the rulebook. But yeah, it does absolutely take a specific um, thing, because you also have to run the whole game yourself, right? The other reason why I like Mage Knight as a solo game is because the running of the AI is very, very easy. There's an app that I use that literally does it for you, the press of a button. Yeah, yep. I usually have to play a game 2 or 3 times solo before I actually feel like I'm getting to play the game and enjoying it. Um, but yeah, Mage Knight is just unreal. In the middle of the pandemic, like right in the middle of it, I bought my copy because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some solo gaming because I can't hang out with my mates. And I was like, what's the best solo game? Mage Knight pops up everywhere you ask that question. I was like, all right, I'll buy Mage Knight, and it was just fucking awesome. Fuck, I played so many games that year. I'm gonna load it up. This is my app that lets us determine games played. Oh, I played another game last night. That was the Battle Mage. It was the Town Councilman. I scored 79. He scored 73. It was a banger. Insights. Mage Knight. Not a great playtime in the last 6 months. There you go, 59 plays. There's all of my plays with each of those fucking people. My least favorite character to play was Wolfhawk, and I never lost a game with her, which was annoying. And she got my highest average. My favorite was Norrowas, but fuck me, I could not get him humming. It's awesome. Get into it. And yeah, average play time 2 hours. Twilight Imperium's also up there. Oh, here's my. That Kingdom Death number is not correct. I stopped tracking that because it didn't make sense. That Spirit Island number is not correct because I have. That's only played with another player. I've played so much of it on the app. That's correct. 13 times we played TI. How good. Yeah. These stats are so fun. I like to just see which factions have won in our games, how many times they've been played, what their average score was. And then you can look at players. Oh, I've won 5 times at that game, have I? Fuck, I'm good at that game. Classic. Yeah. Thunderstone Quest is rocketing up the rankings. It's on fire. Fucking some good games in there. No one cares, do they? Stop looking up your board games, dickhead. Yeah, I bought a full everything copy. Yeah, Nemesis is on there. We played that 5 or 6 times. Pretty great. Love Nemesis. And Nemesis, I've told a number of people, it's not a great game. Like mechanically speaking, if you have a watch of some of the other games that come out now, Nemesis is not a good game, but it's a fucking experience every time you play it. We still talk about this one game we played where Simon, who's a mate of ours, we trapped him in a room, like we pushed him into a room with the Queen. We closed the doors on him, like he was in the airlock. We closed the doors on him, and he had no bullets in his gun, and he had no ability to get more bullets, and he was playing the guy in the wheelchair. And he just had to hit the Queen with melee attacks. So he's just ramming his wheelchair into the fucking Queen. And then the airlock opened and they both died, and it was the best. And everyone thought it was fucking so great. Fuck me, that was classic. Every time we talk about that, classic. Great game. Yeah, I hope they have more spirits for Spirit Island. I just really wanted to add the other spirits to the app because there's like 12 spirits in Jagged Earth that I've only played a couple of times each on the table, and I just like to really dig my teeth into them and play them a lot more. But I don't know if they're doing it on the app. Yeah, Koki and I played 2 games of Thunderstone Quest last night. We played Epic Mode. Thunderstone Quest as a game, I really like it. Epic Mode, 10 out of 10. Makes the game so good. So good. I painted some of the models from Etherfields, yeah. I just did the core four heroes. Um, I played through about 10 dreams on that game. Um, and then I ended up selling it. It was an interesting game, like interesting in what they were trying to achieve, and um, the artwork's unreal and the design of the world, everything is unreal. But what I really struggled with was um, every turn. It wasn't a choice what to do. Every turn you were just like, well, I have like 3 red or 3 green or 3 yellow, and I'm just gonna have to go and do that. It wasn't the in between stuff that got me, like the in between dreams that got me. It was actually in the dreams where I was like, well, this is boring because I'm only ever doing just like what's directly in front of me, And the story was good, and I enjoyed reading about the dreams and stuff. But what I realized is I got to like dream like 15 or 16. It's just reading a story. Like I'm not actually playing anything. All I'm doing is shuffling all these cards and dealing myself all these things and slogging through X, Y, Z. But all I'm actually doing is reading a story anyway, because every turn it's just like, well, I drew these cards. The only thing I can do is go to number like in this location and that's it. So it was close for me. It was close, but ended up being a sell. I have pretty ruthless perspective on my board games. I either consider them to be a worthy title to stay in my collection, or I play them and I sell them. Fields got sold. Um, I would like to sculpt the models for my game. Um, I have sculpted some things. I wouldn't call them models, but I have started learning how to digitally sculpt. So that's sort of an aspirational goal. Unlucky, son. Once more into the breach. Ice, ice, baby. Bum, 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 bum. Vanilla ice, ice, baby. G'day, Conrad. Yeah, I stream on a Sunday morning for a more American-friendly time frame. Yeah, it's also a nice time for painting, so. Yeah, I am definitely putting this guy in the much, much harder than I expected to paint category. And also the category of couldn't be fucked. Cool model. Cool model, but hard. I'm not here for hard. He's holding a whip. Yep, he's the Indiana Jones of elves, mate. Hello. Always yellow. G'day, Tui. What's happening, champion? You going alright, mate? That's good to hear, my friend. I also believe you're headed for better times. As one would assume you're about to be headed to Monty and World Model Expo. That's what I call a textbook definition of better times, mate. I do also love Italian food. Yep. I am a little bit jealous, mate. Not a lot jealous though. Just a little bit. Would have loved to have come over this year, but yeah, it's just not feasible at the moment from Australia, I don't think. Everything is expensive and just not worth the risk for me. My girlfriend's traveling at the end of the year. The legend. Yep. We've sort of remained mostly separate from a lot of the challenges that COVID's had on other countries here in Australia, like to some extent, until basically end of last year, this year. We've just been fucked a lot the last um, little time. But anyway, everyone's had it tough. So everyone's had it tough. All right, I'm going to glue this guy on his base. See how it all looks. So I'm excited to start painting this bust tomorrow, I think. This little bust, eh? Yep. This has ended up being a really weird paint job. Yeah, I sort of feel like in Australia we're in a similar position, maybe. We've just basically opened up now, and everything's sort of back to normal. There's a couple of places where you have to check in, but everything's sort of just a bit laissez-faire, however you pronounce that. So it's good, but yeah, I sort of hope there's no more crazy variants that could fuck everything. Who knows? Who knows? That's an interesting observation, mate. Um, hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much a sit at home, paint toy just play board games type of chap as well. I miss not having to go to work physically. I mean, but yeah, every situation has its pros and cons, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. The mental health side of COVID has been something that's talked about a bit, but probably not really talked about enough. My sister posted something. I have a sister. She's a year younger than me, 2 years younger than me. She got three kids. She's a legend. She posted something about uh, she'd seen this post on some social media page, which was basically like, if you haven't learned a new skill or read 10 books or done this during COVID, what have you been doing with your time? Like basically just giving people a spray for not doing anything. And she just blew up about it. She was like, "This is bullshit. Don't don't pay any attention to this. The only thing that matters is that you got through. It's been different for everyone, COVID. How about you just give yourself a pat on the back for still being here?" And that's that. She can be pretty smart sometimes, my sister. Most of the time, she's like me, though. Thick as two bricks. Yeah, seeing people come together has been the best thing about the pandemic. Seeing people give a shit about each other. Um, Seeing people follow the rules and try to look out for each other was pretty great. America, America. Here we come again to say the motherfucking day, America. Fuck yeah. I think I'm done. I don't think I can do it anymore. Let's do some airbrushing and then we'll call it a day. Yeah. It's been a fascinating 3 years to live in. That's absolutely the truth. It's been awful and it's been amazing and it's been fun and it's been boring and it's been challenging and it's been easy and it's been life. I wonder if you went back through history, right? Even just look at the last 100 years. I doubt there's been a generation that hasn't felt like we feel now about when they were living. You know, there's always been wars, there's always been significant events, there's always been challenges. The older I get, the more I feel like just don't be a fuckwit. Oh my god. Simo, Roy, fuck, we lost Warney and Roy in the space of a few months. That is fucked. Oh my god. He's only 46. Oh wow. That's awful. Well, that is depressing. Yeah, that's one of the great things about Roy, right? Is he was just always himself. A cricket player. He was a cricketer. Um, yeah, he was actually one of my favourite cricketers. So he was one of those really gifted players who had, yeah, when he was in his teens, he actually had an option to go and play rugby league, and in the end, he decided to pursue cricket. Um, and he was made his debut in the Australian one day side and he was a devastating batsman. And he bowled a little bit as well. And then as he got older, his game continued to evolve, and he actually made his way into the Test team. And when he was in the Test team, yeah, he was probably one of the best all rounders in the game in that era. Yeah, he could bowl off spin, he could bowl medium paces. He scored a century in a Test match. I think it was an Ashes Test match. Yeah, he was great to watch, and he used to get sledged a fair bit because he was one of the best fielders in the game, like anywhere in the world, and he used to get sledged a fair bit that he was a specialist fielder. He was in the side as a specialist fielder. It's a good sledge. Yeah, that's devastating. He was a legend. Um, yeah, Taka, that's sort of what I was saying before. Like I doubt there's ever been a time when people don't go, "Geez, we're having it rough, aren't we?" You know, the Great Depression, Vietnam War, World War One, World War Two, Spanish flu. You know, every generation there's always been some shit. I bought these. I'm keen to try these actually. These are makeup brushes. They're $10. I'm gonna use them for dry brushing. Learn how to dry brush them. There's a dude in Poland. His name's Bohun. He does a lot of dry brushing, and so I thought I might try these. These are only like $10. Try these out. See if I can do some cool dry brushing effects. They're really really soft. Just something I thought I'd try. Untitled Chapter. Shocking, isn't it? Shocking that I didn't pay that amount. Good advice, mate. Good advice there. I have I've done a little dry brushing in my time, but not a lot. Which other figure? Which other figure? I've only got one sitting here. This guy. Do you want to see some other cool shit I painted? I might go grab some stuff. These are the last three things I painted. My favourite one, this is my favourite thing I've painted in a long, long time, right? Has got 8 votes on Putty and Paint in about 3 weeks. I reckon it's literally the best thing I've painted this year, and no one gives a shit about it. How funny. It's like actually one of the best things I've painted. Look at this shit, man. It's awesome. Look at all the detail on the face. Fucking mad. 8 votes on Putty and Paint. Rubbish. Nobody likes it. Cool. This chick. She's tricky to paint. She's deceptively tricky to paint. Really hard. I like her. She came out nice. And then I did this, and this is probably the last big piece I did, but this is really cool. Happy with this. Yes, I like it a lot. I did, yes. I did some really good work on this. Those are the last three things I've painted, and the moon face, and now this. I'm about to get into some board games painting, I think. Just feel a little bit burnt out on display stuff. That one was a commission. Yep. Not burnt out. Burnt out's not the right word. I don't feel inspired. I don't feel inspired at the moment with any project ideas. It is going to be here tomorrow, I think. So yeah, I was always planning on doing that next, but I might crack out some other stuff, some Rising Sun figures or something maybe. Got some other games over there that I could paint. Could paint those Blood Rage figures. I would love for Gambler's Chest to come soon. So I want to give Past Deno a pat on the back, because Past Deno was so frothing for Kingdom Death after he finished painting it all, that when Black Friday rolled around last year or the year before, Big Deno was like, I'm going to spend 5 grand on all of these fucking things. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And fortunately, past me just bought the Gambler's Chest for $500 or however much it was, and nothing else. And so past me has made a magnificent decision, because that's money that I've used for things, because it's now 2 years later and there's still no product. Still none. Nothing to show. So past me, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. I don't know, this guy's fine. He's just a weird dude. Just a weird model. Yeah, Gambler's Chest, Campaigns of Death. That's what I bought. That was it. I was hoping they'd both be out soon. I was hoping they'd be here middle of last year, so that I could start painting them and start playing more Kingdom Death and get excited about the campaigns, but they're not. And so it's fine. But like, I've gone through that Kingdom Death 1.5 Kickstarter page multiple times and looked at all the updates. The fucking expansions for this just look so good. Like, they look unreal. That fucking mosquito thing, the big bee, it's fucking mad. There's so many good expansions. And then the big fucking dragon, the gambler, the red witches. They're awesome, man. Like, it just looks so good. I'm way more into the aesthetic of the second lot of expansions, more so than the first lot of expansions. You guys are much, much smarter than me, friends, in terms of what's going to happen and answering those questions. I would just like to have my little slice of the world and be able to paint soldiers and play games with my friends, and hopefully be nice to other people. That is all I would like out of my life. And for everything else not to just burn down. Let's go have a look at this model again, because I bought it and I am happy. Look at the car's shadow. He does a really beautiful gold as well. I would imagine so, buddy. Oh, I'm impressed by how I'm impressed by how seamless that head looks on there. Wonder how hard that is to do, to paint a model that has removable heads, replaceable heads, and have it look good. Pretty tricky, I'd imagine. I love looking at angles this close. You know, look at the non-metallic metal. It doesn't look ultra smooth. I am on Eric's Discord. I am. He just streams at different times for me. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Look at that cast shadow on the front part of the horse there. How good. The dapple's crazy. But do you want to know what's funny is, if, like, there's two versions of this, and I reckon they're two of the best figures painted this year. Because Mihal's did one as well. Look at this. This is just fucking obscenity. Absolute fucking obscenity. Just wild. Um, this guy's got a very Polish. Oh, yeah, I should get on that more. Well, I'm at work that time though. That's the problem. That's Monday. That's Monday morning for me. He's got a very Polish feel on his medals, like very land, and um, that's a super Polish style. This guy's done so much great shit. Like, look at this. Look at this fucking thing. That is legit. Surprisingly quick too. Fuck, I wonder if that's for sale. I'd like to buy that too. So good. I honestly reckon, um, this dude, Michal Shizmenko, is doing some of the best fucking work. He got a platinum award at SMC. How many followers has he got? He should have more than this. Fuck me. He should have fuck tons more than that. I saw this in the flesh. It is absolutely sublime. Absolutely sublime. Look at the detail on the shield. Oh, fuck, I love it. That's such a great paint job. That's what won platinum at SMC. In the what category was that in? I don't recall what category it was in. It wasn't in thingy. This is great too. I've painted both of those figures, and both of mine look significantly worse than those. His Lady of the Lake's ridiculous. I painted her too. Mine looks significantly worse than that. Painted him. Also looks worse than that. I've painted her. Definitely looks worse than that. Painted that guy. Looks worse. G'day, Diddy. Where's something I've painted that looks alright? I've done her. Looks way worse than that. Oh, I've done that one too. Mine looks worse than that. And now we're getting into Space Marines. Nobody cares about Space Marines, Michal. Stop painting Space Marines, my guy. Okay, now. I don't think I've gone onto putty and paint in a while. Let's go have a look. There's me. Look at this. Oh, I got a vote. I got onto silver. Your beauty. How good. We cracked over 10 votes. Something that's been there for 2 weeks. Oh yeah, this one from Moses is nice. Hey, this John Chan guy is cracking jokes. He needs to fucking relax. Have a go at this one. Have a fucking go at that, will ya? Ridiculous. Look at that. That's so good. I love this guy's style. Look at the skin tones there. They've got a really interesting blending. Yeah, I can feel that. Tui. I can feel that. Oh, putty paint just comes down to a couple of things, mate. The timing of when you post. If you do a lot of if you post at the right time, you get a couple of votes. That brings you onto the front page. And if you're on the front page, you'll usually get a fair few votes. If you're not on the front page, you won't get votes. And so that's what happens. You can promote it in other places, and that'll help. But this is great, actually, from Tim Marsh. Haven't seen a lot of stuff of his that I've been like, wow, that's awesome. But yeah, it's nice. Durgan Paint Forge, Dwarf, really nicely done. Snow. Yeah, the Harry Potter's good. You know, I was actually I said to my friends, I regretted not purchasing this model after I saw this, because I was like, why the fuck didn't I think of doing a Harry Potter? I would love to have a Harry Potter. I would love to paint that now that I know it could have been Harry Potter. Like, it's just such a clever and obvious thing that I can't believe I didn't see it. My girlfriend would have loved that if I painted that for her, but that's beautiful. It's one of the best things he's done. There's mine. Just wanted to give some votes out. Go away. You get a gold. You definitely get a gold. You get a gold. You get a gold. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, let's have a look in here because there's a couple of ones that just came. That Bunny, yeah, Bunny's done that one. We'll do that. That's Jesus. We'll give him a vote. That's yeah, Nakatan. Codename Zero. I actually want to look at this. This is nice. Oh yeah, DC's. Whoa, that's a fucking Uther. This is bunnies. On your bun. Fuck, how cool is that little logo on the top left? Agreed, mate. Agreed. I love this guy's textures and technique. He does some really cool shit. That's a gold, my friend. Really cool shit. Zero, you're a legend. It's a hard model to paint. Huh. That's a great interpretation of this figure. It's a great interpretation. Oh, is Tim making that one for you? Fuck, that's mad. Are those little leaves from that scenic bases mob? Wonder where he got the dwarf bits from. I'd like some of those. I'll have to ask him. Epic basing, yeah. I'll have to go and download some of those because those are really nice. They're really, really good. Good scale. I love that. That's awesome. That's gonna be mad. Yeah, so see, I really like this. I like this, the visceral nature of the brush strokes in the metal. Really feel that. It's up my alley. This is DC's. To give Dave props here, paint job's great. I just don't like the sculpt. Oh, that little dude. Awesome. Pew pew. Yeah, he spent a fuck ton of time on that. Look at this dude. The chibis took him a while. He spent a lot of time on his chibis. Made me feel a little bit inadequate. No, I didn't feel inadequate. I did a decent amount of work on mine. They gave me one of the hardest models. It's all white. This is cool. I like this guy. I like the cut of this guy's jib. Some nice freckles. Nice tattoo there. Yeah, like this is a nice paint job, and the way that the light radiates out from the angel is beautiful and clever, and um, they've spent a lot of time on this, a lot, and he sent me some pictures of the figure, not in like his light box and stuff, and everything looks a little bit more vibrant, like the green on the rocks on the bases and stuff is really really vibrant, really pops, looks more green. I'm just not a fan of the figures. Like the guy's chest looks weird from this angle, his front on angle. Like look, it just looks like he's a box. It's got a very boxy shape, and I don't like the demon at all. Doesn't do it for me. So Dave's paint job good, sculpt not my favourite. What else have we got going on here? Oh, Thorbjorn's one, and that. Oh, haven't seen that. Oh, Morgana. This is the problem with putty and paint. This is how I view it. I'll just go in and every couple of weeks, and if I see some cool shit, man, I gotta get that sculpt. Oh, he's not gonna fucking sell it. Come on, Torbjorn. Tui, get on the phone to him. Atonement was good, mate. Atonement was good. Get Torbjorn to send me one of these, will ya? Don't let him not cast it. Get me one, Tui, come on. Get on the blower to him. I know you're friends with him, mate. Make it happen. Yeah, this is a cool little piece. Huh. I like that. I can't paint like that, but I like that. Good job, you. Yes. Tell him I want one, Tui. Make it happen. I'll give you $5. Yeah, nice version of that figure, but doesn't earn a vote from Big Danielson. Little flower knight. Oh yeah. Benny. Oh, that's nice. Some cool shit in here, eh? That's great. I've painted that figure and it's actually a hard figure to paint. But he's got beautiful details in there. Awesome job. Don't think I've seen that guy before. Yeah, I can probably cop that. I can probably cop that too. I tell you where he goes right most of the time is conceptually. Conceptually, I love his sculpting. Comes up with great ideas. Like the idea for Atonement, that was a unique idea at the time. I hadn't seen anyone do anything like that. This is great. Yeah, I like Ben's over Romans too, mate. Where is he? Yeah, I like that a lot. He's he's starting to get to a point now where he's really getting his volumes right, you know, really understanding how all the light works and you know, he's every now and then he'll hit a banger. G'day Mini Mensa. Where the color palette just sits in his wheelhouse. Like this is grey, brown, skin. You know, those are his areas. This is a perfect bust for him to paint. But I particularly like the hair, like the beard and the chest hair. I think that's really well done. The light is really well done. Um, I think he's probably just got to now fix his metal a little bit. Like his metals aren't as good as they could be, and I think he doesn't push contrast enough on areas like hair and metal. But yeah, this is a great piece. This is the best thing he's painted ever, I think. I do like that little beholder thing though. Yeah, that's nice. We'll sling you a gold. Yes. Yes. Bum bum. It would be helpful. You get a gold purely for your tremendous freehand, good friend. Well done to you. I like that, Benny. I like the atmosphere. Nothing special about the paint job, but I like it. I like it enough. I want to do one of those frame dioramas soon. Oh, this guy's fucking awesome, actually. Where's Moses from? Where are you from, Moses? Yeah, from the United States. You, my good friend, are an excellent painter. Well done. Well done. Look at the face. The face is sublime. Fuck, man, this guy's a jet. That's just a straight copy of the Pizarski one, which is still an excellent effort because the Pizarski one is fucking mad. Yeah, that is sublime. Like I love that. Good job, you. All right, last page. Last page is scrolling, and then I'm going to do something with my day. Probably play Thunderstone quests. Maybe start painting this other chick. Who knows? Nah, nothing good on there. What a champion! And here's me just kicking about with this bad boy. Can't get a vote. Can't buy a vote. It's almost like it's a popularity contest and people don't like me. This is the story of my life. Oh, okay. This is what we're going to paint next. Innu Kingdoms. Hmm. I do like Celadrill, yeah. This little bit's going to annoy me. Let's start painting this. Yep. Yes, it was. I want to do some gold. Like I want to try and do better gold than what I've done in the past. So that's about as far as I've gotten. Dave's version of this is really good. Let's just plot out all the areas where there's skin. Yeah, she's awesome, eh? Yeah, so let's talk about this figure and what we might what we might consider doing with her. So I was sort of thinking I don't really want to do like crazy lighting um effects, but it might be cool to do this mace glowing a little bit. Anyone got any suggestions? I don't really have a firm plan in mind at this stage, so open to ideas. G'day, X-Tab. The only thing I'll say is I'm probably not going to finish this chick if my Oathsworn models arrive. I'm going to have to get onto that ASAP. So she might get started and then shelved for a bit. Shelving. G'day, El, mate. Yeah, that's sort of the vibe I'm getting is Elven Cleric. Yeah. Dappled light from the forest. Yeah. Yeah, so my initial thought was I want to paint more gold, so let's work on maybe doing gold armor or golden armor. So if we're doing a golden armor, um, golden green accents, desaturated. Come on now, mate. Come on, Xtab. Who are you watching, pal? Every time I try desaturated, I cry myself to sleep. Like, where's all my colors at? All right, Tui. Good night, buddy. Hey, thanks for stopping in. You're a superstar. I miss you. Desaturated and true non-metallics. What is wrong with you people? Purple cloth could be good. I haven't painted a lot of purple recently, and purple and gold is a nice color combo. So let's try purple cloth and gold stuff. Oh, thanks, Scarabost. Oh no, thanks, All Might. What a champion. Well done. Too good. What is thanks, mate. It's a cool model. Funky is a good way of describing it. There'll be metal. There'll be metal as well. I think I'll make them gold. Yeah, so it's probably going to be around November, um, uh, into December because he's going to take it to Monty, and I won't he won't ship it to me till after then. So we're a fair way off, but that's okay. Just gives me more time to pay for it. Yeah, yeah, he streams on Twitch pretty regularly. Um, he's a great dude actually. I spoke to him a fair bit at Monty last year. He's an awesome dude. Much love for that man. Nice one, Dino. Oh, that's a funny question. I never played it, no, but I actually bought a whole bunch of armies, which I converted into Warhammer Fantasy armies. But I never played Confrontation the game. So I had all the rules because of all the armies I bought, but I never played the game. But yeah, I painted like three three Warhammer armies using Confrontation figures. It's great. Probably pretty boring at the moment, friends, but just building up some interesting volumes. I'm actually using some different colors to what I would normally use, which is cool. G'day, Variant Ruse. Ah, thanks, mate. I mean, the process changes from model to model, right? This one, I'm trying to get a real clear definition of the volumes of the lights and stuff before I start refining. And sometimes I'll go in and do a lot of this stuff with an airbrush, and I think it's cool to try and approach it in different ways and keep your technique fresh. I have not. G'day, Jared. How's the diorama coming along, mate? This figure is called uh, the Lyra from Inu Kingdoms. It's a Kickstarter from last year. Awesome. How much time have you spent in total, do you reckon? I feel like that's a question I ask a little bit too often sometimes. Don't want you to think that the only thing I care about is speed, but just want to make sure I've still got one claim to fame, which is I'm the fastest guy in the world. 6 weeks, cool. Yeah, I spent 7 weeks on my diorama, mate, so I've got you covered, son. Interesting. He was one of the ones I found easiest to paint, that guy. Yeah, I'm excited to see it, mate. All right, so the light source we're coming from is this direction. All right, so all of the decisions that I'm making now are about how do I want these volumes to look with that light. So, you can see that we've got a real clear focus on this side of the face. The light coming from down here, you're going to have this little light here, a larger area here, this here, this here, this here. Same for the boobs. This area gets a lot of focus. We have a little bit of sort of bouncing light down here. Same with up here. So these decisions that I'm sort of making now are a lot to do with ensuring that this lighting feels consistent, that it feels like it belongs um, for the figure, but you've also got to break the rules on occasion and find something interesting, find some little nuances that you can do that maybe don't make sense, by the absolute letter of the rules of the lighting and so forth, but that will create, something interesting to look at. G'day, Balefire Forge. Welcome, mate. I'll be finishing up soon myself, buddy, but appreciate the raid. What did you get up to on your stream, champion? For everyone that's just joined and is new, I paint a few things. This is some stuff I've painted recently. It's all here. Painted this chick. Painted this girl. These were all done on stream too, so you can check those out on stream. And just this little bad boy. Sons of Horus, nice. Thanks, mate. Big thing here, and if you have a look behind my head, you can also see a big diorama that I did as well. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Uh, this guy, the hobo painter, this guy, he's supposed to be an ancient vampire, I think. But yeah, he does look like a Goblin King now that you mention it. True. Alright, we might just whip out a quick little bit of airbrushing. Just to bring some... Yeah, see you, buddy. It is a Carol Rudick model, yeah, spot on. His name's Kane the Last Vampire. Carol does some unbelievable figures. It's actually a dude, Carol. Polish dude. If you go back far enough, you can go and find some of his paint jobs that he did for Golden Demon. The guy is a fucking legend. Like, he has done some wild shit, Carol Rudick. He's won so many Golden Demons. Some crazy shit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People probably just don't know too many of those old school legends in the world of Golden Demon, but it was unreal. The dragons is the only thing of his that I haven't ever been like, oh yeah, I want to paint some. But someone was chatting to me the other day and they were like, you should do a diorama with one of his dragons. And I said, you're right, I should. What a fantastic idea. So I was looking at the dragons the other night. Agreed. I was like, huh, why did I never think of that before? Yeah, precisely. No, they haven't yet. They're still in shipping, mate. You got to be patient over here in Australia. Like, if you order something, it'll turn up 5 months later. Patience. Patience is a virtue. I'm not a patient man, but when it comes to buying things from overseas, you just deal. G'day, Paul's playtime. Thanks. Yep. That were March too. Actually, the vampires I ordered. Probably expecting them soon. I think he sent them, but he hasn't sent me an email. I might send him an email and find out if he has sent them. They're on my tracking list of things that I need to look out for. Well, it's a possibility because I haven't conceptualized and planned that one yet. So that is a possibility, mate. Could happen indeed. You don't need to apologise, mate. I appreciate the raid. You can be as quiet as you want. Shit, when I raid into people, I'm just like, hey man, have a good stream. See ya. Oh, you definitely should do that. Oh, Xtab, what can I sing for you, buddy? Thank you. It is limited indeed, yes. Pretty much Disney songs, pop music, and that's about it. Um, Let me think. No, I could probably do Daniel from Elton John. Nah, I don't think I can do Rocket Man. Sorry, mate. Second choice. Um, Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Material girl. Yeah, my repertoire really is shit, mate. Topless, what can I sing for you, mate? That one we know I can do. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in the fantasy world. Dress me up, do something, I'm your dolly. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. Oh, I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. Do I know any romantic stuff? Depends on what you mean by romantic stuff. I mean, yes, but what romantic stuff? Hmm. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. You my number, so call me maybe. And all the other boys They try to chase me in my number. So call me maybe. Boy, you came into my life. I missed you so bad. I missed you so bad. No. I don't know any Duran Duran. Forgot you had a love affair with Carly Rae Jepsen. Top. Oh, you're a fucking clown. Uh, yeah, I might not agree with Topolis on Carly Rae Jepsen, but I am all about Taylor Swift. I will absolutely die on that hill. She's a legend. What can I sing for you, Match Fixer? Nutbush city limits. They call it Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush city limits. Oh, Nutbush. Nutbush city limits. I don't remember any of the other lyrics. Is that all she said though? Was there other bits in it? Yeah, that was pretty cool, hey? My Chemical Romance. Dropping a single. To carry on, to carry on. Oh, we were never meant to meet him. I'll never will carry on, carry on. No, it never makes sense. Because the world will never make sense. One, two, carry on. Banger tune, that one. Hmm. I don't know that I am interested in the new acrylics from Scale 75. They don't get a lot of use in my rotation these days. The only ones that do are the Scale Fantasy range. Um, yeah, so no is my abbreviated answer. Of course, having said that, I like paints. So, g'day TJ. So anytime there's paints, I'm like, ooh, no, I don't have those. Might be about to do a bit of two-brush blending here. Actually, I'm fucking hungry. What's the time? Oh, it's 11 a.m. No wonder I'm hungry. Yeah, no, appreciate it anyway, Balefly. Thanks, buddy. You're a legend. Good night. For the short amount of time you get to sleep, that is. Appreciate it, mate. Carry on. Yes, I think we might head off shortly as well, friends, and maybe we'll raid on. So the plan for tomorrow night's stream, which is Party Monday, which unfortunately for the first time in a long time I missed Party Monday, as at a work function. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. So there's a strong possibility that I will have the Oathsworn models. In which case tomorrow's stream will be about assembling and preparing the Oathsworn models. If the Oathsworn models do not turn up, then we will continue painting this beautiful figure here. Which is already looking Colwell-esque, isn't it? Colwell-esque. Everyone's looking at it super close, don't forget. Let's zoom out. When we add some airbrushing, little subtle shades and what have you, fuck, it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger. Skin needs more red in it, I think. So if we do a glow from the mace, we'll have a fair bit here. Could be fun. Yeah, we might just try and add some little nuances, I think. Yeah, my favorite thing I've painted this year has not been smooth skinned. It's been rough skinned, so might be nice to try and really do something cool. It's quite smooth. Anyway. You know, I normally stream for about 2.5 hours on a 2.5 on a Sunday. And here we are at nearly 3.5 because of this figure, because of how much I love this figure. So you can all appreciate this figure for getting a little bit of extra time today. Yeah, this one and Erinus, which is the other one I'm keeping, were the only two that I had left that I wanted to paint because I already did the other two that I was in love with. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Cool, man. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Boom. Shakalaka. Let's find someone to raid. 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 Miniature figures. Let's see who we got here. Let's go down the bottom. 3D printing some tombstone. No. 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 Thanks, Match Fixer. See you soon. Oz Huber Iron Ant. We've rated him before. Dungeons and Dragons. The Wolf Among Us rerun. Smokin'. Terrain Knight. What's going on here? This guy wants to get to 300 followers.
I thought you'd used some sort of compound there, but I mean, the color came out good.
What is going on with your stream fucking size, son? 864p 50. You're a joker. Cracking jokes. Mini Maxa, what's going on here?
And I don't know if I'm going to do my regular scene.
720p.
Well, I probably will. Well, really
Son, grab yourself a holder. You're killing me. Grey Templar. What is up with all these 720p's, you jokers? He's a possibility. Thanks, Tanithlas. You're a champion. Alright, we've got a Chaos Knights, dude.
Sitting at home.
We have a 1080p source. At long last.
Dude, no, you're good. Lurk. I don't care. Lurk. I don't care. It's fine. I have no problem with lurkers.
Good. Well, you're about to get plenty of them, son. Scrap a knight.
I'm not doing anything but playing with giant stompy robots.
I like the cut of this man's jib.
Check it out. Check it
Let's
out.
go.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Looky, 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 looky.
Raid.
I figured if I sit there, damn it, swag. I got these today. Now I know that I'm getting
Good on you, friends. I'll catch you Party Monday. Yeah, so it's tomorrow night, and hopefully with some Iceborne models. Okay, let's go.
With test minis, as far as inks and brush